welcome back to 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim's spoiler commentary playthrough series. I am Hamburger Chariot, the biggest Keitaro Miura fan on the entire planet. Yes, I will die on that hill. And I am here...
You can fight him and you'll lose.
Yes, and I'm here with my best friend and resident ending hater, Mirth Mauser.
Hello. I don't hate the ending. If anything, at this point, I'm just like, it didn't click with me. Ah, well, this game's still one of the best things ever made. I'm more like, on it now. I mean, it doesn't matter. The game's still phenomenal.
Let's just get right into things.
Yes.
May 1985, clear skies.
Clear skies.
Monitoring the Sentinel from Kaede River.
Oh, the shot.
No matter where I am, at least the sunset is always the same.
Same as it ever was. 40s, 80s, the sun never changes.
I checked the library for any records of such a weapon, but in all of history, nothing like it has ever existed. Not in the US, not anywhere. What was that thing? Before the war, my uncle gave me a sci-fi novel. A story about traveling through time to the future. It only ever felt like a far-off fantasy. To think it ever become a reality. I don't care that we lost. I'm proud my country could rebuild after what happened.
Based.
That line. That's what I mean, like, he takes it for what it was. Like, he's initially shocked and suspicious, but he's also inquisitive and reminded too that this is the reality. And he's proud that, again, the country itself doesn't matter to him. It's the people and his loved ones and his family. And he's like, I'm proud that amidst this horrible tragedy where 210,000 people died in these horrific bombings, his country was able to rebuild, and they're thriving. They're full of kids his age, just laughing and, talking about, shows and games and, music and concerts and other boys and girls. It's like, his country is thriving again in just 40 years. He's proud of that.
I won't accept this future.
But yeah, it's just... the reality is he's still lost, and he failed all the people of his time.
Now that I know we lose the war, that's all the more reason to go back. I'll bring the Sentinel with me, and I'll change history. It's my duty to fight and protect the people.
People.
Okay, but...
Yes?
He's read a sci-fi novel. Surely, he's seen at least an example of why you should never, ever go back and try and change history. It never works.
To be fair, I don't think he has a lot of sci-fi to work with. And I think he's just kind of assuming, like, no, I can still change all the horrible things that happen. It's just... he needs a little bit more information to work with before he realizes how terrible that is. Even if it was possible, which it's not.
I have to save as many of them as I can.
So yeah, I love how...
that line. That's a really good line.
He's intelligent, but just ignorant, which is the perfect combination. I don't like Okino very much, because Okino is intelligent, but Okino also knows everything. You don't really get to see him flex his intelligence much, other than just exposition dumping. With Miura, Miura is fairly intelligent, but also is being dropped into this scenario with no knowledge. So you get to see him work shit out. You get to see him, like, he's figuring things out. He's not just knowledgeable about everything, but he's smart enough to put all of the pieces together, given the information he has. Obviously, he doesn't know that it's not actually time travel and it's sector jumping, and that's not the same thing. So he thinks he can do this, but yeah.
I don't think I had figured out it was sector jumping at this point, since this is still fairly early in the story, and they haven't given too many big clues. They've given you small ones, like when you look through history books and there's nothing, like, you know, I look through weapons, there's nothing of Sentinels, nothing. Like, that's a little hint. And there's a lot of those little hints, but the bigger ones come very shortly after this.
The scene that made me realize this can't be time travel. I don't know what exactly it is, but this can't just be time travel. This has to be something different and way more complicated. Was the scene in 2188 at the start of his prologue. That was the scene where I realized, oh, this is a sci-fi game written by Japanese people.
Oh yeah,
it's not time travel.
It's less that I thought it wasn't time travel. It's more like I don't know the rules to this time travel at all, and I wasn't able. But specifically, I didn't figure out it's sector jumping, not time travel jumping, until I think we get to the scene where he goes to Jiro's house and realizes the mark is no longer there. That's when I started really. That's when the pieces started going together, and then I was looking out for more hints, and I was like, no, it's not time travel. It's just sector jumping.
I like that this game is structured in a way where it gives you lots of different mysteries, but it gives them to you at different times and lets you figure shit out. Like, for example, what the nature of time travels and sectors are is a fairly early game mystery, but it's a really satisfying one to figure out. Meanwhile,
absolutely.
They don't even mention the phrase 426 until like halfway through the game, and then it takes a good while to figure out what's going on with that.
That was fun though. Yeah, again, it answers one question and then gives you 5 more.
Yeah, I love how in this game they somehow managed to make it so certain mysteries are still always generally placed around certain sections of the game, but you can play so much of the game in such different orders that change your experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what if it's impossible for me to go back? What if I'm trapped here? Chihiro. Alright, that's enough. Get it together. Don't get discouraged. You will make it back. No matter what it takes.
Chihiro.
I wonder, what if I never actually traveled through time?
Oh?
This is earlier than I expected.
It's possible that space-time here is warped somehow. But it could just be a local effect. I should try heading toward the school. Maybe time is flowing normally over there.
Maybe that's just a way of rationing. Again, before a lot more stuff is figured out, I just thought it was kind of multiverse travel, if that makes sense. Where, you know, basically each period is locked, and, you know, the periods can't affect the other, but, you know, basically kind of different universes that they're calling sector. I mean, you know, the whole multiverse theory, all that sort of stuff. That's what I basically thought what it is. Especially since they say Sekigahara is from an alternate dimension.
Yes, Mirth, I know what the many worlds interpretation is. I have read a visual novel before.
Okay, I'm sorry. But yeah,
no, it's a joke. It's a joke, and my dad's fucking busting himself laughing next to me and has to leave the room. But like every visual novel on the planet has to mention the many worlds interpretation and Schrodinger's cat, and this game is not a visual novel because it never mentions Schrodinger's cat.
You're right. Ha! It's not a visual novel. Anyone who's marking it that way is wrong.
I mean, they're wrong for a lot of other reasons, but also for the meme reason that people take seriously for some reason. They never mention Schrodinger's cat, so it can't be a visual novel. It's not Zero Escape. Zero Escape is still the best sci-fi mystery visual novel. Go play Zero Escape, by the way. It's great. Well, the first 2 games are great.
I will once I finish Umineko.
Lamau, yeah, whoops. I need to record more of that.
It's okay, I still haven't caught up on everything. I've gotten lazy. Anyway.
Also, lighting.
Yes, it's so pretty. There's a bird in the background.
Hurry up, Miwa-chan!
What's up, Iori?
Slow down, Iori-chan!
Female students. Looks like the school's still here.
Oh, yeah, he's
Despite a
checking to see-
catastrophic loss, Japan recovered quite well. It seems to have entered a prosperous new era. Almost too prosperous.
Yep, you're in what's called the bubble economy era. That's when it was at its most prosperous, which will burst very soon and screw over all the people, all the next generation in the 90s,
That was like...
2000s, and 2010s.
Yeah, wasn't, Japan's bubble economy burst in, like, the mid-90s, I think?
I don't know if it was, yeah, I think it might have been mid-90s, but basically, you know, it prospered mostly people who were, you know, growing up around the 80s and basically screwed over everyone else afterwards.
And also, I think, this is probably an unrelated rant, but I wanted to get into it because I need someone to hear my pain.
Go for it.
I don't watch anime anymore. Like, at all, basically. I watch so little that I do not call myself an anime watcher, I don't call myself an anime fan.
I don't watch too much, just every once in a while when something catches my eye.
And that's because anime has gotten really fucking bad over the past, like, 5 or so years. Because
there's too much of it.
there's too much of it, it's all made on horrifically tight schedules with no budget and no talent. Like, there's like 5 anime worth watching every year, and they're all battle shonen, like Jujutsu Kaisen or My Hero Academia, because they're the only things that actually have to compete and try. They're the only things that need to please an international audience, so they're the only things that anyone is willing to put an actual decent amount of budget and time and talent into.
It's less that
You
there
get
isn't
some-
that they
you
don't
get
have
some-
talent.
Sorry,
It's more
I should
like-
say, you get some examples where some shows will have 1 or 2 out of those 3, but there's only like 5 anime every year that have all 3 of them.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's less that the anime industry doesn't have talented people working on it, because they do. It's that they give them no time to do anything. Like, it doesn't matter how talented a person is. If you give them only 1 or 2 weeks to make something and then it's gotta go out, they're gonna turn in garbage.
Talent is definitely the most common of the 3 points on the triangle. Like, there's a lot of shows that have talent but no fucking time or budget.
None at all.
Which just ruins the show.
Pretty much.
Like, there's this one Studio Shaft, who is probably most well known for the Monogatari series and Madoka Magica, who are infamous for having extremely talented staff, like some of the best in the industry, but absolutely no time or budget, to the point where many episodes get finished literally hours before they're scheduled to be broadcast. And
That's
even
unfortunately
then,
common.
that's finished in massive air quotes, because there will be scenes missing, backgrounds just won't be there. So they have this really bad habit of needing to fix them in the Blu-rays. Shaft shows are not worth watching while they're still being broadcast on TV. Wait for the Blu-rays where the show is actually finished. But anyways, the reason I brought this up is because the bubble economy started this slow decline of the animation industry in Japan, and it's really made me realize that the golden age of anime, the best era of Japanese animation, is the 80s, because that was when the most anime had the best budgets, the most time, and the most talent working on them, in a way that we just have not seen since the mid-90s. It is insane.
Most time, for sure.
We definitely get rare exceptions, but those are exceptions, not the rule. We've had good eras of anime since then. Like, the mid-2000s to late 2000s was particularly strong, we got a lot of good stuff there, but the golden age of anime... Anime has never been as consistently good since the 80s, in terms of just budget and how well it ages with time in a
That
way.
I agree with.
And it's really depressing that anime fans, from my perspective, have such low standards in terms of what they will consume. Because this is before you get to any of the other problems, like how keen Japan is on sexualizing very, very, very young-looking characters.
Yeah.
Which, like, that makes me very uncomfortable. Especially, like, I love the Monogatari series, I really do. Why does it need to sexualize characters that look like they're in primary school?
Yeah.
Like, I will defend the fan service for every other character in that show, which is, like, the only show that I will ever defend fan service for. Like, the memes about how it's got deep symbolism and thought-provoking themes and shit, like, that's actually kind of true for Monogatari. The fan service is actually meaningful in that show, and it's, like, the only anime I can think of where that applies. Except for when they sexualize the little girls. They don't even attempt to justify it, really. Like, there's none of these other... Like, there's no thought-provoking themes or characterization or anything when it's just those three. And it makes me grossed out, and I hate it. Like, I want to recommend this show for the incredibly strong direction and gorgeous artwork and character designs and the great music and the symbolism, and I just can't, because it has those three characters in it, and the author is really horny for them, and it's a little too consistent to just ignore. You have to take the good with the bad.
Unfortunately.
Mm.
It's okay, don't feel bad for it. I couldn't get past the first episode of Anohana for the same reason. I'm sure the show is great. It makes a lot of people cry. I've heard nothing but phenomenal things about it. Maybe I'll get past episode 1 someday.
I think it's overrated, but yes, it is emotional and good. But that being said, I generally don't like cry porn, because I don't cry to it. Like, it just doesn't work on me, so a lot of cry porn is kind of just that, and when that doesn't work on you, you start to wonder what the point was, what was good about the rest of the show. And I'll say Anohana is maybe the best out of the cry porn series I've seen, although admittedly, I have not watched Clannad and Clannad After Story, and a lot of people swear by those.
Okay, yeah, now I see what you mean by cry porn. Like, no, you're right, I don't watch those either. I'm trying to think, like, okay, I've read a couple of things, and they were emotional, but I don't know
In
if
fact,
they were cry porn.
There's this one show that's fairly popular that I passionately despise with every fibre of my being, called Your Lion April.
I've heard of that one.
I hate it. It's horrible. I think everyone who watches it needs to get some standards. I fucking despise it. It's a horrible show that's just emotional manipulation, but with no actual good writing. And it's... like, the premise is, oh, hey, it's a romance between a depressed, abused piano prodigy and another musician girl. Except that girl is an absolute cunt. And also, the, like, ending twist is, spoilers for the next minute, but, like, who gives a shit? The show's not worth watching. The girl has cancer.
Oh.
And they very much write it in a way where her having cancer is supposed to, like, justify her being a horrible fucking person for the entire show. And it's just...
Oh, this show. I'm looking up images on Google. Okay, I've seen this before.
It's popular for having a really strong opening theme, and don't get me wrong, that opening theme is pretty good, but, like, the show itself is horrible, and I think I specifically hate it more so because at the end of the first episode, the introduction scene for the primary girl character is her performing a song from the Ghibli movie Laputa Castle in the Sky, specifically the song that Pasu performs on his bugle near the start of the movie. That scene has lived in my brain rent-free for 13 years. Laputa is one of my favourite movies of all time. I hold it very near and dear to my heart. So they play that song, and I cry because of that song, because of all of the emotion that I have tied to that song and that movie. And then the rest of the show is as horrible as it is, and it just made me really salty and angry at it, and I hate it. It makes me hate it more than I already would for everything else wrong with the show. Like, can we stop making media where, like, one of the two romance options is just bad and the romance is not believable because the people are horrible, but it's justified because actually trauma, or actually I have cancer or a disability. Like, the only piece of media I've seen that manages to make it work is Koe no Katachi, or A Silent Voice, which is a movie by Kyoto Animation.
Oh, I wanted to see that one. I really wanted to see that one.
It's really fucking good. It has some pacing issues, but it's really fucking good. Because it's not that. Like, yes, it's a disabled girl, but it's not written like all of these other shows and shit. Like, it's a lot more believable, there's a lot more to it. Even then, I think it's not quite as good as a lot of people like to say it is. Again, pretty bad pacing issues because it's trying to condense a hell of a lot into not very much time. But it is stunningly gorgeous. Go watch it.
Yeah, I've been meaning to. I saw it on Netflix one day. I invited a friend to watch it, and he was like, yeah, but there's suicide in it. I don't know about that.
Isn't
like,
that...
You haven't watched it yet. Anyway, Miura.
Oh, this song.
Hey, hold on!
Miura-kun? Thank goodness.
You made it back. You're both safe.
You're Natsuno Minami, right? The one I met at the shrine. What are you doing here?
I've gotta say, you had me pretty worried. I had no idea where you went.
I can't believe you're here too.
I couldn't find you anywhere. I thought you got snatched up and hauled off to Area 51. But anyway, what have you been up to?
Too slippery for that.
Wait, first...
Where have you been?
She's asking all the questions he wants to ask her.
But anyway, what have you...
Wait, first...
Where have you been?
I love their dynamic. I don't really care about it in a romantic sense. I just see it as like very, very close friends. But I love their dynamic. It's very entertaining.
I mean, it's cute. It doesn't have to be romantic to be adorable.
A kind student's been letting me stay at his place.
Oh.
Aside from that, I've been sleeping outdoors.
Outdoors?
Natsuno-san.
The blush.
Get it together, Keitaro.
Pants.
She certainly is quite... Yes.
Oh, that delivery. That is so Keitaro right there.
She certainly is quite... Yes. I admit, she's bright, cheerful, attractive.
Okay, is that intent? Oh my god, that's intentional. It's the way that he turns his head away from the camera before saying attractive.
I admit, she's bright, cheerful, attractive. But right now, I have more urgent matters to tend to.
It's like he's rationalizing, like, yes, she is all of these things, but...
Hang on.
But no.
This is
so
my
cute.
mess, so I have to figure out how to clean it up. But then again, I can't really bring a boy into the house. Oh yeah,
Brothers.
Granny Tamao went on a trip. So Jiro-kun should be the only one home. That house does have a lot of rooms.
Granny Tamao?
Sorry. Let me go grab my stuff really quick. I'll be right back, so just wait here. Then we'll head over to the Kurabe's house.
I love that she just does a lot of
Kurabe?
her thinking in her head and just leaves. And leaves him stumbled. Just like, she half says it, half thinks it, doesn't realize what she has and hasn't said. And they're like, oh, I've got an idea, wait here. Like, she explained it, but she didn't. Basically me.
Oh, here we go.
There's the flashback I was thinking of earlier. I was wondering when you were gonna get it.
Another great scene and another great song.
This is such a gorgeous location, and we basically typically only see it once. In this form, anyway.
Managed to leave quite the dent. Chihiro? You don't have to cry. It's not like you did this on purpose. I'm sure Uncle isn't mad about it anymore.
What about you? Are you mad?
Of course not. I'm your big brother.
It's the way... It's the way that they make this relationship so adorable between Miura and his little sister. And then they snatch it away because Chihiro is just gone now.
Like, can I
And
hear
then
that
she's
line?
really gone because it's not even her anymore, it's someone else in her body.
And can you hear that line one more time?
Like, very late in the game, there's the moment where Chihiro, as Chihiro Miura from 2188, contacts the Sentinel team in the final battle, and then the end of that conversation she says, "Good luck, big brother." And I hate it. Like, it's really good, it's great writing, but it makes me fucking hate her. And, like,
So
it makes me really angry in the best way. Like, how
that's
dare you? How dare you, you fucking evil team of writers, for doing that to me.
Of course not. I'm your big brother.
Also, I love how Zach Aguilar plays a lot of very family-oriented
Yes.
characters.
Tanjiro from Demon Slayer.
I'm not
plays
go-
the
I'm not
main
gonna-
character in
I'm not gonna
the
spoil...
Nier remake.
I'm not gonna spoil the details, but I, the Somnium Files, he plays Oto Matsushita, who is also very family-oriented, and playing through his route...
Oh no.
Playing through his route, which happens to be the first one that you should play through, wow, that's a punch to the fucking gut once you get to a specific scene that I am not gonna spoil. Oh my
What
god.
you're insinuating. I don't like what you're insinuating at all.
Yup, go play either Somnium Files. It's by the people who made Zero Escape. I really want to like either Somnium Files more. It's just very long and slow, and there's so much extra dialogue that makes it way longer. And it's worth reading, which is why I read it. Also, I hate the puzzles. The Somnium puzzles are bad, I don't like them. But the rest of the game is great. The cast is great, the writing's great. Very horny humor, which is very much my style of humor. Kotaro Uchikoshi is wonderful and we stand. Also, canon gay. It has canon gay.
Gotta love it when it's canon.
Yep, it has a canon gay character called Pewter, who is voiced by Sean Chiplock, and he's amazing.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
And it is
Anyway.
just as hilarious and wonderful as you think it is. Because it's actually
my-
respectfully written.
Okay, now I'm curious.
Yup. I would say play Zero Escape first, because Zero Escape is a lot easier to recommend in that... Like, there's optional dialogue, but it's a lot less... Like, the puzzles are a lot less aggravating. And it's generally just a more comfy experience, I think.
I'll always be on your side, Chihiro. Now, come on out. So, how do you hit the pillar with the laundry bucket? You must have been playing pretty rough. You must have been playing pretty rough.
The bunny was fighting, and it beat up giant ghosts.
Tamao, screen time. This is not a drill. Alert, alert, alert. Tamao has screen time.
She
As
exists.
the ghosts smash all the houses, and more of them keep coming.
Such strange ghosts. Did you come up with them yourself?
Holy fuck, I just realized. This is her brain knowing what's coming with the fucking kaiju and sentinels.
She's getting dreams.
Oh my god. Even when it's still the little sister, the fragments of the old personality are still in there. Oh my god, that's horrifying.
Horrible. Oh, we gotta keep going. We gotta keep going.
Poor Chihiro.
This is cruel. Like, downright cruel.
No, Tamao told me about them.
I'm sorry, Chihiro-chan. My father has quite a short temper.
Oh.
Tamao's dreams. Okay.
No,
okay.
Tamao
We might have
told
been
me
reading
about them.
Okay, sorry.
We were reading a little too into it, but it's still dark.
I still think that probably happens, because, like, the whole point is that Chihiro is meant to be a clone that failed.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
pretty
Chihiro-chan. My father has quite a short temper. I'm sorry. This was all my fault.
Tamao-san,
It only happened because I told Chihiro-chan about my dreams.
Okay, makes sense.
is it okay for you to be awake right now?
I've been feeling much better lately, and I have Goto-san from Tokyo to thank for that. He's been sharing some foreign medicine with me. It's just that ever since I started taking it, I keep having strange dreams. But they feel like more than just dreams. They're like memories that I just suddenly remember.
The sirens.
This is bad.
And the way he just defaults to running like this.
Turn on the radio.
Yeah, I noticed the radio prompts. Where the TV's going to be.
This military broadcast, air raid alarms have been sounded. Enemy is flying at low altitude. More air units to be expected. To prepare against the coming invasion, we ask all citizens to unite as we fortify our air defenses.
It's a massive enemy raid.
We have to hurry to a bomb-proof shelter. Come on, Chihiro-chan. We have to go.
Jiro-kun, are you home?
Family life.
Minami-san.
And now we get to see the scene from Keitaro's perspective.
Right. Now we get to see the full scene of it.
Couldn't you have knocked first?
Come on, your Granny Tamao and I are best buds. We're neighbors. Think I don't know my way around the place? Anyway, I've got a favor to ask. Oh, Minami-san. I didn't know you lived so close.
Did you really need to come out?
Suspicious?
Can you mega me?
You're Yakushiji-san, our classmate? Wait,
Hair switch.
wait, are you two? Do you need something from him?
Smile and
It's not what it looks like.
Women.
This is just,
line in this one that I want to bring
you know.
up when it comes out.
Natsuno-san?
Oh, come on in.
Pardon my interruption.
Best boy. I love him. I remember when we, like, freaked out when we saw him because we knew this was, like, one of the first times where he got to be present for a scene.
Pretty much.
For
Besides,
more than, like, a second.
Yeah, when the star was glowing in Euro found.
So this house is still standing. Who are you? My name is Keitaro Miura.
So, it's
So
kinda
polite. I
complicated,
love him.
but yeah. I need you to let him stay over for a few days.
What? How do you know Minami-san?
Come on, I know you have a spare room.
And the way she won't answer the question.
It's too complicated.
Just let him stay until your granny's back. In exchange, I won't tell anyone you're living with a girl.
That's not...
The details don't matter.
Her tone.
Fucking Natsuno.
Just let him stay, alright? Thanks, see ya!
She's so formative about it. Like, she doesn't even debate it. She knows.
Natsuno-san, is this...
It's fine, it's fine. I live super close by. So if you need anything, just let me know.
I guess the line isn't here.
There she goes.
Oh, the delivery.
There she goes.
In and
Well,
out.
this is awkward. Pardon me. I know Natsuno-san's intentions are good, but I really don't want to be an inconvenience.
Are you hungry? Why don't you join us for dinner?
No, I shouldn't.
Your stomach thinks you should.
No, that was,
I'll go fix you a plate.
Girl, this table is covered in plates.
So,
Maybe
Tamao-san
just
is
get
your
a plate,
grandmother?
rather than fix it.
So, Tamao-san is your grandmother? Is she in good health?
Grandma? She's fit as a fiddle. She's visiting relatives back in Shimane. That's why she isn't here.
Shimane. She must be with her mother's side of the family in Iwami.
Do you know my grandma?
Yes.
You do, huh? So then?
He doesn't believe it.
The face.
So then?
Just the way
How
he
long do
said
you need a
he
place
do.
to stay? How long do you need a place to stay?
Not long. Just until I can make my way back home.
Well, alright. If that's the case, it shouldn't be a problem. Just try not to cause any trouble. Feel free to use the guest room on the first floor.
Jiro was not impressed. Jiro was really not impressed.
Thank you.
People just keep barging into Jiro's house. He did not sign up for this.
There's a projection device where the radio used to be. It's been lightly remodeled, but it's the same house. I could have sworn it burned to the ground.
Hey, it's not just the dent, it's that it burned. It's not even that they rebuilt it, it's the same house.
The damage on this pillar is missing. And it wasn't changed when they remodeled. If this really is the Kurabe's house, then it should be right here. Chihiro left a dent in this pillar.
Yeah, that's when I started putting it together.
It was just more info for me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, okay.
Back on my parents' property.
2188 Tamao.
There was a wooden single-story house. It was built in the middle of the 20th century. That humble little place stood for about 100 years. My grandfather often told me stories about it. Some of his fondest childhood memories were at that house.
That sounds lovely. I'll have it produced for you.
Produced for you. That line really stuck out to me.
But all I have left are old photographs.
Like, it's really... Like, as soon as we saw the first of 2188, I became convinced that there was a lot going on here. Time travel wasn't real, and then there was, like, this really solidifies that, oh, yeah, this isn't... Not only is time travel not real, this is all rebuilt. Like, these sectors, they've got to be, like... Yeah, these sectors must represent the time periods or something, and they're somehow traveling between the two. Like, that was what I was thinking.
I was piecing a few things together, like what do they mean, like, I'll have this built for you from old photographs that was there for 100 years. Again, I think at this point I was still convinced that this somehow took place way after the story, and I was thinking, like, okay, what happens in the story? Ignore my dogs. What happens in the story that gets us from, you know, this kind of sci-fi mystery to all this? But they're also talking in past tense, and it was just a lot of information to try to build together. Again, the obvious was just not obvious to me until they basically just said it.
That's fine.
I could figure out...
I can restore them for you.
Thank you, Miura-san. I'm looking forward to it.
Your puppies are having a good time.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think... I think we might have to wrap things. Hopefully, it could be continued after this because they're getting rowdy. All right. I think they're quiet down for the moment.
This is the last scene, so...
Oh, perfect.
Were you just on a call with someone else?
With Professor Kurabe, yes. We were discussing the layout of the residential zone.
Oh, that's right. Professor Kurabe was born in the 21st century. She's 120 years old, right? I know that she's receiving nanomachine treatment, but she still looks so young.
Honestly, it's impressive she's lived that long. Like, I think that's on record for the oldest recorded living human being.
I believe the record is 122.
Yeah, so she's on track for that.
But with future medical science and shit, that's not particularly strange. Like, the expectation of how long you're gonna live thanks to medical science is only getting longer and longer.
True. Keep in mind, there is this, that basically we would live longer if we didn't need oxygen to survive, because funny enough, it takes a lot for our bodies to process oxygen, and just through that, just ages us a lot quicker than it probably should if we could survive off something else. But
she's Professor Morimura's mentor, I hear. She's Professor Morimura's mentor, I hear. Quite an intelligent individual.
Well, yeah. She is the foremost expert on AI, after all.
And we'll get to see her use her AI expertise coming naturally to her when she raises Jiro Kurabe's new personality.
Yep.
Right. Anyway, is something wrong?
The puppy is barking because the puppy is horny for Miura.
She's the loud one, she's not gonna quiet down.
Why does something have to be wrong for me to call?
Oh my god, back up. It's a continuation of the, do I need a reason to hear your voice? I love it.
Why does something have to be wrong for me to call? Well, I just so happen to have a really urgent problem. I need emotional support stat. And I need it from you.
Oh, that does sound urgent. Then I'll be waiting.
They're so cute!
They're
like, take it how you
adorable.
will, platonically, romantically, I don't care how anyone would take it. They're cute, and that's what I love about them.
The house that shouldn't exist. God, again, it's not updated.
That's weird. Yeah, my dogs are not having it. They wanna play.
Yeah, we'll wrap things up. Kurabe
Alright,
house
puppy.
restoration. And then we have the mark on the pillar.
Yeah.
And then we have why are you here and the house that shouldn't exist. 114, 16. Okay. So that's those four, which then... Yeah, the mark on the pillar, and then it starts filling out here.
House that shouldn't exist.
Because these are just the same scene from two different characters' perspectives.
Mark on the pillar, like, how soon is it before everything else in Keitaro's room?
Mark on the pillar is quite a bit before anything else. Like,
Yeah.
he really starts at 90. Yeah.
Yeah, that's after he's become a cadet, but you know.
He's got a few events in the 30s and then jumps to 90 where it's all starting. Cool.
And yeah, Kurabe
And
House
he's
restoration
locked.
is... Oh, no.
This is tragic.
Well, not unless we do more of the battles.
We're not doing more of the battles yet.
Alright, so next time is going to be Amaguchi then, because Igiyama's still locked.
Yep.
From one best boy to another.
Yep. God. I love Miura's story. It's so well paced, the writing is amazing. The deductions and the character work are all on point. There's so many just awesome things to see.
You know, I bet I know why they're locking his behind the battle, because there is a battle where Chihiro shows up.
That's not until like wave 2. Like sorry, like area 2, late area 2. Fuck,
No,
it
there's
might
one
be
point
area
where-
3.
I know, no. There was one point where she showed up briefly because it threw me for a loop. Like, wait, why is she here? She's just, she's just a little girl. Why is she talking so odd? Because I didn't play Goto's event because I didn't want to start it yet, and I'm kind of glad I did it. It actually would have spoiled a lot of the mystery that I liked figuring out slowly. And it also, if I had played his route, it would have really spoiled what happened to Chihiro, because I was blindsided by it until the reveal happened, which, woo, that was effective. But yeah, we gotta wrap up.
Yeah. Any last thoughts?
Really, I'm surprised the thing with Chihiro didn't happen then, but I guess it probably does happen right after the battle, and I'm just very eager to get to that. But gotta be patient.
Yep. Next time we're gonna jump into Shu Amiguchi's story. Like you said, from one best boy to the other best boy.
Yes.
And I mean, Sekigahara's great too, but Sekigahara's 3rd place. Very confident 3rd place, and everyone else is like immediately a step down. But first, second, third, and then we don't have Ogata, but Ogata is 4th.
It's such a good cast overall. I don't think we unlock Ogata until we get a little farther in Yuki's, who is next after Amaguchi, so we don't have to wait long.
And then there's Ryoko, who are both at 0.
We will start them next time.
This is Hamburger Chariot and Mirth Mauser signing out. If you want to see more, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Please leave a comment in the description. Tell us what you thought of this chapter. Tell us what you think of this game. The whole point of this series is to increase discussion for this amazing game that no one talks about, and given that this is a spoiler commentary, spoilers are all perfectly safe in this description. Talk as much as you want, we don't need to hide from the people who haven't played this game.
I highly doubt they're here anymore with how many times we told them to go play this game.
Yup. So yeah, thank you all for watching, we'll catch you in the next one. See ya, everybody.
We'll see you then.